What's up, guys? My name is David Powell, and this is Powell Sports Media, my small sports show where I discuss some of my favorite sports and athletes. Let's get into it. Yeah. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Detroit Tigers have won a playoff series. After the last month of Detroit baseball, I certainly was not expecting much from this team moving into the postseason. But Thursday afternoon, the Tigers and Guardians, they faced off in Game 3 of the American League Wildcard Series, and the Tigers pulled the victory out. Detroit had taken Game 1 of the series back on Tuesday with a 2-1 win with Skubal on the mound. Wednesday, Cleveland responded with a 6-1 victory to force a third game. So, been pretty tense for Tigers fans this week. I honestly was surprised the Tigers didn't just get swept by Cleveland, especially with how the regular season ended. The team just didn't play well down the stretch, and I didn't have high hopes, especially having to face Cleveland, the team that's kind of owned us over the past month. So I was not expecting much. But going into Game 3 after taking that first game, I did have a little bit of nervous optimism, I guess you could call it. Jack Flaherty was the starter for the Tigers for today's game, for the Thursday game, the Game 3. A double from Kerry Carpenter in the top of the third inning, that gave the Tigers the first lead of the game as Parker Meadows crossed home plate. Cleveland responded with a run of their own in the bottom of the fourth. It was Jose Ramirez. He kind of was a tough player to play against for the Tigers this series, but he got the RBI single to tie the game for the Guardians. The two teams kind of battled it out from there, and it wasn't until the top of the sixth that the Tigers kind of found a break. With 2 outs, Dylan Dingler stepped up to the plate and smacked a home run over center field. I'll be honest, I was driving to a meeting at this point and listening to the game on the radio, and I was totally freaking out. I was pretty excited. So that kind of gave me a little bit of hope for the rest of the game. Then came the 7th inning, in which the Tigers, they absolutely exploded on offense. It started with a double from Javi Baez, followed by a bunt single from Parker Meadows. Cleveland switched pitchers at that point, and then Gleyber Torres grounded out to the pitcher. Kerry Carpenter was then intentionally walked, and that's kind of where the chaos began. Wenzel Perez singled to right field, and he scored Baez and Meadows. Torkelson stepped up, and he singled to left, scoring Carpenter. And then Riley Green singled to right, scoring Perez. So a little bit of confusing there. After all the dust had settled, though, the Tigers held a 6-1 lead over the Guardians. While Cleveland gave a comeback its best effort, the Tigers escaped with the series win with a final score of 6-3 in that Thursday game. Well, I don't think the team looked super amazing throughout this series. I do think they can kind of build off of this performance moving forward. The Tigers move on to face the Seattle Mariners in the American League Divisional Series moving on. The Mariners finished the regular season with a 90-72 record. They're the second seed in the AL side of the playoffs. Seattle won the regular season series against the Tigers, winning 4 of the 6 games that they played against each other. I certainly expect the Tigers to have a little bit more trouble with the Mariners than they did with Cleveland. The Guardians certainly weren't easy, but I think that Seattle's going to challenge us even more. I think that the key to the series, from my perspective, is getting the bats hot and keeping the bats hot. I think the Tigers need to stop leaving runners stranded on base and in scoring position. That's something that the team severely struggled with throughout this Cleveland series, was stranding runners on base, left in scoring position. Tuesday's game, for instance, the team went 1 for 8. Wednesday's game, 2, it got even worse. The Tigers went 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Absolutely kind of abysmal stat there. And then Thursday's game, the team was a little bit better. They went 5 of 12. So a little bit better. They saw improvement in that last game. So hopefully they can kind of continue that moving forward into Seattle. Overall, I'm super happy that the team pulled off the series win. Pretty crazy to think about. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a ton with how the regular season ended, but I'm thrilled that the team's in this position. And I really look forward to facing the Mariners. I think it'll be a really good matchup. I haven't gotten to watch Cal Raleigh play a lot this season, and I've heard from people that he's doing really well with home runs. Probably an understatement. But I'm excited to watch him, and I think it'll be an interesting series all around. That's all I've got for you guys tonight. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later. Yeah.